What's up YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be going over some good mods that you should do to your car and some mods that, I wouldn't recommend. So let's get right into it, And if you like the video, drop a like, consider subscribing, drop a comment maybe. All of those would be greatly appreciated, Small channel, trying to grow, trying to make some progress out here, but let's get started. Number one, I do just want to preface by saying I'm going to try to go from the less expensive side to the more expensive side of mods, and I'm gonna try to stay away from talking about boosts, because a lot of people watching these types of videos probably not looking for boost type stuff. They're probably like me, don't have as much money but trying to add a little more power to their car. So with that, let's get right into number one. All right, so for good mod number one that I would recommend, of course, it's a staple, kind of a rite of passage for every car guy out there. Cold air intake for your car, there's a lot of them out on the market. I would recommend one that you do have to get a tuner with, because the ones that you don't have to tune for, usually, they're still kind of restrictive. They're not as open as ones that you would also have to get the tune for. To add, more power, obviously. And the tune is going to add more power on top of that. So why not? Although a tune obviously is going to be more expensive added on to the cold air intake. Maybe for both run you about $600-700 depending on which brand you go for. There's a lot of brands out there for every company, every type of car, All right, so with that, we're going to be talking about bad mod number one. And with that, we're going to be mentioning throttle body spacers. Now, I don't know why people think that these add power to your vehicle. They don't. It doesn't even do anything, because your throttle body, the diameter is still the same no matter what you add to it. So if you really wanted to add more power like that, I'd say get a wider throttle body. But it's only really beneficial if you have some of the other mods on this list that we're gonna go ahead and talk about. So for good mod number two, we're gonna be talking about exhaust. Honestly, there's a whole lot of options that you can do when it comes to exhaust. You can get cat back exhaust, axle back exhaust, you can replace pretty much anything you want to on the exhaust. And there's so many different types with volumes and performance and everything. So depending on what you're going for, if you want a nice noise, nice performance, I'd honestly just say do your research and see what's out there first. Personally, on my car, I went for more of a performance, but it also sounds really nice. And with that, also, we'll talk about headers and mid pipes. So those are going to be, and exhausts are going to be more on the expensive side of mods, but I think that they're definitely worth it, because it's freeing up a lot of restriction in those stock pipes there. And long tube headers, they'll make the car sound even louder, even better. But they're gonna run you quite a bit of money for good long tube headers and good X or H pipe, whatever you prefer. I know it's getting harder to find H pipes out here these days. Personally, for me, for my Mustang, I've been looking for a good H pipe, but I can't really find any good ones out there. If you have somewhere where you can get them, send me a link. I've been trying to do research in them myself. I think that's going to be one of my next mods coming up in the spring here. But yeah, along with that, I did just want to mention the X pipes typically give you more raspier tone, something that could sound like this. I'll play a little clip of both of them for you of what the exhaust might sound like. But yeah, the X pipe might sound a little more like this, whereas an H pipe will give you a little bit more of a deeper tone like this. So for bad mod number two, we're going to be talking about any sort of performance chip, whatever they claim to do. Just plug it into your OBD2, whatever it claims will make more power. Do not buy these. They will most likely, more likely than not, just ruin your car, mess with the air-fuel ratio in ways that aren't good for your engine, and they probably won't even give you that much more horsepower. So I just recommend getting a tune, obviously like I talked about with mod number one. it'll be way better in the long run. And if you can, I would recommend getting a professional tune from an actual tuner that has a dyno. Obviously, you know, for me, that's not really the best option. I don't have that kind of money, and I don't really know anyone around here in upstate New York where I live that has a dyno even, so it'd be tough to do for me. But yeah, so I would not recommend getting one of those. And for good mod number 3, we're going to be talking about gear ratios. So I just want to preface this by saying that higher gear ratios aren't going to necessarily add power to your vehicle, but what it'll do is act as a torque multiplier. So on the lower end, the power is getting to your wheels a lot quicker. And with that, I wanted to talk about getting a new pair of tires. Now, I know good tires out there can be expensive, and you know, you might not have that type of money. And I'm not saying go out there and buy, you know, brand new drag radials on your car that might be mainly stock with a few upgrades. But I'm saying that if you are going to go with higher gears and stuff, you're going to need a lot more traction than, you know, some cheap ass tires can give you, because most likely you're going to be burning out a lot with those, just because of the torque that they give you in the lower end. So yeah, I would recommend a new set of tires if you are going to go that route. I know a lot of people they don't want to go too tall with their gears. You know, you get 410 gears. Well, mainly for me as a Mustang owner, this is from my experience. You get 410 gears, which are like, I wouldn't even get them for my automatic, because people say you can't really do too much highway driving with them. I've seen, you know, opinions either way saying you can't really drive on the highway if you want them because your RPMs will stay too high, burn too much gas and stuff like that. But I also have seen people that say that they do highway driving with the 410 gears. I'd say the 410s would be better for like a manual driver, just because of the overdrive in the transmission of the automatic cars already changes the gear ratio a little bit. So for, you know, the automatics, I'd say 373s. That's what I'm looking at for my car specifically. And I think that they're a great option if, you know, you want it to feel a lot faster, but at the same time, you're also, like I said, not gaining any actual power from it. And so this last mod I want to talk about, it's a little controversial. I've seen things either way for it. I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of what I've seen, at least. And maybe you can give me your opinion on this if you have one. But the last mod we're going to be talking about is underdrive pulleys. Now, what these do basically is draw power from all the accessories in your car, like the radio, you know, the AC, stuff like that, and reroute it to your engine, which in turn theoretically gives you more power, because it's not drawing all that power for, you know, your accessories and stuff. But I also have seen that these can cause your engine to overheat. I've seen people with certain brands saying that it doesn't. People say that, you know, it doesn't even make power in the first place, no extra added power. And personally, I haven't looked more into it than that. So if you know a little bit more about this, feel free to let me know in the comments. You know, I'd consider them for my car if, you know, I got decent, you know, reviews on one of them saying that, you know, they're good, but I don't want to risk, you know, my engine overheating and stuff like that, because obviously, you know, if I'm daily driving my car right now, so, you know, it wouldn't be great if my only car that I had to drive was, you know, overheating and stuff like that. But then again, you know, you only live once, so might as well make as much power as you can. But with that, I think we're gonna end off this video. I appreciate you for sticking around if you made it this far, and consider subscribing, hitting the like button, and I'll see y'all guys in the next one. See you later.